Kanye West, the American rapper, music producer, and fashion mogul, has always been known for his outspoken nature and candid remarks, whether it's about the music industry, politics, or even video games. The 47-year-old star has managed to create a brand around his unfiltered opinions, often sparking debates, controversies, and sometimes even public outrage. It seems that his latest commentary on the hit video game The Last of Us Part 2 is no exception. In a recent Instagram story, Kanye shared his thoughts on the critically acclaimed game, which quickly caught the attention of both fans and critics alike. For context, The Last of Us Part 2 is a game developed by Naughty Dog and released in June 2020. The game received massive praise for its emotional depth, storytelling, and character development, particularly its exploration of grief, trauma, and the complexity of revenge. Despite the initial backlash that the game received from some fans due to its narrative choices, it went on to win multiple Game of the Year awards and is considered one of the most significant video games of the decade. However, Kanye, who has never been shy to share his personal opinions, took to his Instagram story to share his take on the game. His statement, however, was not what many people expected. Instead of praising the game's intricate plot or mechanics, Kanye instead gave a bold critique, claiming that The Last of Us Part 2 doesn't stand out as much as others think it does. Last of Us 2 on Survivor Plus mode got me spending all day on one board, Kanye wrote in his post. By far the best game ever made so far. This is not a sponsored post. While Kanye's statement might sound like a glowing endorsement at first, the tone of his words, especially when read in conjunction with his cryptic comments about Survivor Plus mode and his claim that he's spending all day on one board, raised eyebrows among fans. To those who are unfamiliar with the context, Survivor Plus mode is one of the most challenging difficulty settings in the game, designed to push players to their limits with tough enemies, limited resources, and little room for error. It's a grueling mode that requires patience, skill, and a strong understanding of the game mechanics. But what struck many followers was Kanye's comment that there's no real difference between The Last of Us Part 2 and other games. While his followers know that Kanye has a penchant for exaggerating his thoughts and speaking in sweeping generalizations, his remarks caused a stir, with fans of the game quickly defending its artistic merit. The Last of Us Part 2's narrative is a focal point for many fans, who were deeply moved by its portrayal of characters like Ellie and Abby, whose journeys intertwine in a story about vengeance, loss, and acceptance. Many fans disagreed with Kanye's comments, feeling that he might have missed the point of the game. The game's detailed and emotional storytelling, coupled with the intricate character development and the choice of controversial plotlines, made it stand out from other games in the industry. For some, Kanye's comments felt dismissive of the artistic risks that Naughty Dog took with the story and the emotional weight that it carried. Still, others were quick to praise Kanye for giving his honest opinion, even if it went against popular consensus. It's important to note that Kanye has always been a polarizing figure, and his remarks often challenge societal norms or expectations. From his infamous interruption of Taylor Swift's acceptance speech at the 2009 MTV Video Music Awards to his self-proclaimed status as a genius and his highly publicized moments of controversy, Kanye has always been one to shake things up. But this particular instance, his remarks about The Last of Us Part 2, seems to be indicative of a larger trend in Kanye's recent behavior, a willingness to challenge norms and question the popular opinions of the masses. While Kanye's comments about The Last of Us Part 2 have made headlines, it's worth considering the broader context of his career and his relationship with the gaming world. Kanye has long been a fan of video games, often incorporating them into his music videos, fashion shows, and even his own creative projects. His 2013 album Yeezus featured a song titled I Am a God, which includes a reference to gaming culture and the concept of power and control. Kanye's relationship with video games goes beyond just enjoying them. He's often referred to the gaming world as a source of inspiration for his work, which blends music, fashion, and technology. Kanye's commentary on The Last of Us Part 2 also ties into his broader worldview, which includes a distrust of corporate structures and a desire for greater control over his creative projects. As fans of Kanye know, he's always had a complicated relationship with the fashion industry, particularly with brands like Nike and Adidas. His partnership with Nike, which began in 2009, was initially celebrated by fans for producing the popular Yeezy sneakers. However, over time, Kanye became increasingly frustrated with what he perceived as a lack of creative control and fair compensation. His issues with Nike came to a head in 2013 when he famously declared, "I'm not a businessman, I'm a businessman." This comment reflected Kanye's desire for greater control over his career and his creative output, something he felt was being stifled by corporate giants. Kanye's rift with Nike ultimately led to his departure from the brand and his collaboration with Adidas to launch his Yeezy line. This shift in partnership allowed Kanye to have more creative freedom and control over the designs, leading to a new era in his career. The Yeezy brand became a massive success, with Kanye's unique vision resonating with fashion lovers and sneakerheads around the world. Despite his success, however, Kanye's relationship with Adidas has not been without its own complications, with the rapper continuing to push for greater creative freedom and involvement in the design process. Kanye's recent commentary on The Last of Us Part 2 seems to reflect this same desire for control and independence. Just as he's navigated the fashion and music industries with a desire for greater influence over his work, Kanye's take on the game might be a way of asserting his own opinions in the face of overwhelming praise for the game. By expressing his thoughts, whether controversial or not, Kanye continues to carve his own path, unapologetically challenging what others deem as the best and questioning the norms of mainstream culture. What makes this moment even more interesting is Kanye's history with gaming, as he has previously expressed a desire to enter the gaming industry with his own video game projects. In 2016, Kanye announced that he was working on a video game titled Only One, which would be inspired by the life of his late mother, Donda West. The game was supposed to be a platformer that would follow the journey of a mother's soul ascending to heaven, a concept that was deeply personal for Kanye. Although the game has yet to see the light of day, Kanye's involvement in the gaming world continues to be a point of interest for fans who follow both his music and his broader cultural influence. Ultimately, Kanye West's comments on The Last of Us Part 2 serve as a reminder of his complex, often unpredictable persona. Whether you agree with him or not, Kanye has consistently made headlines by challenging the status quo and offering his unfiltered perspective on various topics. In a world where the gaming industry is increasingly seen as a form of high art and storytelling, Kanye's critique of one of its most beloved titles shows that even the most universally acclaimed works are open to interpretation and debate. As for The Last of Us Part 2, its place in the gaming canon is already secured. It's a game that has left a lasting impact on players worldwide, and its legacy is still being discussed in gaming circles today. Kanye West's opinion, while controversial, is just another voice in the ongoing conversation about the intersection of art, culture, and entertainment. Whether or not his take on the game will change anyone's mind remains to be seen, but one thing is for sure: Kanye's ability to provoke thought and generate conversation continues to keep him at the center of the cultural conversation, no matter the medium.